All right, we're live coming to you from our
living room.
No.
Oh.
This is the police station.
Oh, sorry.
We're detectives now.
Yeah.
We've been assigned to the Longlegs case.
Yep.
And we're here to crack it. So this was brought to our attention by my brother, who sent me a TikTok of this. We'll remove that for now. He sent me this TikTok of a guy who had found this website called thebirthdaymurders.net. So if you want to read along with us, we're going to have it up on the screen, but it's thebirthdaymurders.net. And you've got, as you can see here, you've got home, you've got the victims, and you've got a contact for, I don't know what happens if you sent something there. We should email them.
Oh, yeah, we should. That's a good idea. Info at thebirthdaymurders.net.
I wonder if we do this and we send them an email and say, like, you got a cipher? if they would, if they'd do it. But friend of a friend, send this. I wonder if they send you something in the mail.
I don't know.
If we send a handwritten letter.
Yeah, we could try. That'd be fun.
We could even write it in the code.
Ooh.
And send it to them.
Send it and be like, now it's your turn to decipher.
That'd be kind of fun. I wonder who this goes to.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea, but that's pretty damn cool. What's up, Brian?
Cool. Hello.
So anyway, the reason we're doing this is because Longlegs is my personal most anticipated film of 2024. I am convinced that this is going to be a new classic. I think that, not that I've got my expectations up too high or anything.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I'm feeling, I felt the same way about Hereditary when it was coming out. There was just something about it, you know, and when this teaser dropped out of nowhere for Longlegs, and it was that one that I was just like obsessed over that I sent you, where, you know, and I can even, let's pull it up, shall we? This is see if we can find it really quick. This one just blew me away at the time.
Yeah, I think that the trailers have been really great.
Oh, wait,
and also like the marketing behind it.
The marketing is amazing.
Is like crazy.
Absolutely amazing. That's not it. That's not it. Here it is. So I remember being just absolutely unsettled, to say the least, when I saw this. See, like, to a lot of people, this kind of stuff just doesn't do anything for them. Like, I was on Lee McCoy's channel, I think the literal day this came out. Which is 6 months ago. Is that right? That's probably right, because we're in July, and I think I was on his channel in like January talking about all the upcoming horror movies of the year. So that would make perfect sense.
That does make sense.
And I was on there, and I think I'd just seen it that morning, and I was like raving about it. Like, dude, you got to play it. Like, we're going to play it right here on the channel. You got to pull it up right now. And I was like, I bet you and most people are going to be like, that was it?
Yeah.
It's like nothing. And it's like, it's not nothing. It's everything. This is like this, and then everything that's come since. All these like teaser trailers that they've put out there, the marketing is next level. Yeah. This is how you market a horror film. It gives away nothing and gets you excited for endless possibilities.
Yeah, it sets up a really great atmosphere and tone, like right away. It's just very unsettling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as soon as I saw that, it immediately moved up my list. Like, you know, I had a whole list of movies that were like already numbered and ordered and everything. It moved up from never having even heard of the fucking thing
to now it's
to was like number 2 at that moment. You know, Maxine was number 1, right, and then Longlegs was number 2 after one 37-second teaser, which is this thing. Oh, it didn't go over?
It doesn't auto share it because of.
Oh, really? Even though I switched over? That's kind of crazy. Hold on. I'll do it like this. But I thought that was just going to, because I was on the other one. Okay.
Nope.
Can I do both? No. Wow. So, once again, start this shit over. I don't even know if you guys can hear this, but it's the best. It's like one of my favorite teasers ever.
911, what's your emergency?
It's my daughter.
The fucking cryptic ass.
Yeah. The red eye that they all have too.
I got quiet.
Sir, can you stay on the line with me?
I love that.
That's not my daughter.
That's not my daughter. And then that shot of these, like,
my gosh,
these legs that are too long.
These long legs.
And there's like 3 arms in the picture, even though it's revealed later in a different picture that that's just other people in there. But just like, look at this.
Are you still saying your prayers?
Do you still say your prayers? Like, just, I love it. The marketing for this movie is just the best shit ever. The marketing for this movie is better than the majority of movies. Like, you know, as a complete feature. But this is all my. See, this is like a perfect blend of what Kaylee wants and what I want. It's all about the ARG stuff. I'm all about. And if you pause this and you look in at the face right here, you can see the eyes.
I don't like it. It's
right?
Scary.
So I don't have the ability to do it here. But if you turn up the contrast and enhance it, it makes this really scary, almost like Valak from Conjuring 2 face underneath. But like, you don't see it unless you're really looking at it. But when you pause it and you look right here, you can clearly see the eyes. You can clearly see the nose, right? But like, you can't see it.
It's freaky
at first.
It's freaky,
you know, as it's like coming in, because it's like fading in. But then right here at the end, you can see the eyes starting. And then you've got, you know, this code that you can decipher. Now, I've done quite a bit of research. We had started our own little cipher here that we put aside. That we've been working on.
Started it.
Kaylee and I are big fans of Hunt a Killer.
Yes.
And deciphering codes is a big part of those. And so doing this has been really, really fun. Very fucking complicated. But I think we have some of them figured out, and we're going to share them with you. But let's get to it, shall we? I'm going to exit out of that, and then we are going to present here. So let's just get to this already, shall we?
Yes.
So who is excited for Longlegs? I am calling it. I am telling you guys, I'm not going to be wrong. For me, it might not work for you guys, but I'll be eating my words. I hope not.
I hope not, too.
But this is this is Hereditary level for me. I can feel it. I felt it with Hereditary. I was calling it then. I was like, this is going to be a classic. This is going to be one of the best movies of the decade. And I just feel it with this one. This one feels special. This one feels unique. This one doesn't feel like I'm hyping it up too much. I have this feeling. Yeah. This is it. This is the classic of the year. This is my number one. I'm just positive on it.
It kind of is reminiscent too with all of this like ARG stuff that's going along with the film, reminiscent of like the Blair Witch, right?
Jacob says there was one on 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, cool. I don't know about
I remember it. I think if I remember correctly, wasn't that the movie where they did like the geocaching? How do you say that?
Caching?
Whatever. Caching.
Yeah, geocaching.
And they like buried a box. And we're like, it was like a hunt to go find it.
That's really cool.
Wasn't that one, Jacob? Isn't that the one where they had like the markers and people were trying to solve it, and like the people went and found the box?
Oh, that's really cool.
It had the info inside.
I know that there's been a few movies that have done ARGs like this. This isn't like the first time it's ever been done at all, but it is really exciting.
Yep, they buried a box. That's what I thought. Cool. It's been a long time.
Awesome. Donna's excited. Super excited. And so is Duratan.
Good.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys are into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because Maxine and this are coming out so close together.
I know.
And because, you know, I was slightly disappointed in Maxine, I'm hoping that this one can, you know, pick me back up a bit. And you know, we get these random movies kind of out of nowhere too that come out and blow me away.
Of course.
That I didn't even know were coming out, that I didn't even know existed. So we always get those too. So you have the ones that you're expecting.
Yeah.
That they either live up to expectations or they don't. And then you have the movies that come out that you have no expectations for, which of course is always like probably better to a degree. But with Hereditary, I went into it with as high of expectations as possible. And I came out with them all met and beyond.
Yeah.
So it's not that your expectations can kill per se. It just depends on the kind of movie you're expecting. And Hereditary was exactly what I was expecting it to be, even though I knew nothing of Ari Aster at that time. I do know Osgood Perkins. I've seen all 3 of his movies. And we have another movie of his coming out in February, based on a Stephen King novel starring Elijah Wood, Rowan Campbell, as well as Tatiana, I think that's her name, from She-Hulk. I'm really this called The Monkey. But for now, let's talk about Longlegs. So Osgood Perkins, I don't know if he's 3 for 3 for me. I do love Blackcoat's Daughter. I do love Gretel and Hansel, but I honestly, I'm trying to get Kaylee to watch it, maybe tonight. Is I'm the Pretty Young Thing That Lives in the House. I think that's what it's called. It was a Netflix. If I remember correctly, if someone can correct me, but I swear my memory tells me that was the first Netflix original horror movie. I swear it was. It might have been the first Netflix original film, period.
I have no idea. I just know I have not seen that one, but I liked the other 2 movies a lot.
I remember the first Netflix original series was Lilyhammer, with Steven Van Zandt, which I really enjoyed. But I swear the first Netflix movie, or at least horror movie, was Osgood Perkins' I Am the Pretty Young Thing That Lived in the House. And I was all excited for it because it was son of Anthony Perkins making a horror movie. And it was boring at the time, and I was super tired. But I think now I would appreciate the hell out of it. But this is a long time ago. This is when I used to live at my dad's house. We're talking
a long time ago.
Long. It's got to be. I don't know how old. Yeah, Lilyhammer was before House of Cards, because House of Cards was their big thing that they did. I am the pretty, isn't that I am the pretty young thing?
The pretty thing.
Oh, the pretty thing. I thought it was young.
Not
I am
young,
the pretty
just
thing
a
that
pretty
lives
thing.
in the house. It only has a 4.6 on IMDb,
wow.
but that's fine. I don't care. I know. I just remember it being very slow. I watched it very late at night. It came out in 2016. So it's only 8 years old. Man, I thought it was older than that, but whatever. Anyway. All right. So let's talk about this. The Birthday Murder. So as I said, birthdaymurders.net. We are on the home page here. So now, okay, just for clarification, so everyone understands. I feel you here that it's like you're worried, but I'm just not. I think so.
It's always good to try and
temper your expectations. I'm not tempering shit. I have a feeling that they're all going to be met, so I'm not worried about it because we have the 3 greatest thrillers ever made, in my opinion, and I think most people would agree, is Silence of the Lambs, Seven, and Zodiac. Those are like the top tierest of these kind of crime thrillers, and the 90s was littered with them. And 2 of the best two of the best three came out in the 90s and set that gold standard for what everyone else was trying to emulate with, all the stuff that we were watching, whether it's Kiss the Girls or,
Right.
Bone Collector or, the list goes on and on. But we haven't had one that's really hit in a long time. This is something that I feel like, Gone Girl, which is like
Gone Girl
thriller.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same because it's not like a hunt for a killer, right? So
Yeah.
it's not a murder mystery thriller like Silence of the Lambs, Seven. You know what I mean? It's a fantastic
different.
thriller, and
Yeah.
it's also directed by David Fincher because
Yeah.
he's the best fucking director ever when it comes to thrillers. But we have not gotten like an investigation of murders, even though they technically are investigating a murder in that. The twist is that it
Right.
hasn't happened,
Right.
which is fantastic. So I guess you could throw it in there. It's also fucking phenomenal, but I feel like it's going to be on that level. You know what I mean?
Jacob says, I think people going into this expecting it to redefine the serial killer investigation movie will be disappointed. I don't know if it's going to redefine it for sure.
I don't
think
want it
it's
to
just,
redefine it. I want it to be on the level
Yeah.
of something like Silence of the Lambs, which I think it has the potential to be.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this.
But the last thing before we start, so when I watched this little video that my brother sent me that turned me on to this website, I have not read through almost any of this yet. But the guy on there, he was some kind of like film person, whatever. He has already seen Longlegs. He was one of the lucky few that got to see it. And he said, don't worry. There is no spoilers for the film in this website. So for anyone who's worried that there might be some kind of a spoiler in here, he said all this will do is build up the hype and build up the anticipation, the excitement for the movie. So knowing that, let's jump in.
Okay, for nearly 3 decades, the Satan-worshipping psycho has terrorized families throughout the Pacific Northwest. A bloody trail of bodies here in the great state of Oregon attests to the depraved savagery of this one-of-a-kind serial killer.
So it's set in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like the Pacific Northwest setting.
Mm-hmm.
With over 3 dozen victims that we know of, Longlegs is one of the most prolific mass murderers ever to have graced the region, and his gruesome endeavors are the stuff of nightmares.
So my guess... I'm just going out on a limb here, and it's because I'll show it to you guys because I have perused. I haven't fully dove in yet, but I perused the this site, and one of the letters led me to believe, because of spacing, that his name is like Lonnie, and he goes by like Lon G Legs, like that's his name, is like Lon G is his middle name, like a shortened G, and then Legs. I don't know, we'll see for the movie, but
It would be cool though. At first, all of the killings appeared to be straightforward murder-suicides, the handiwork of average men who suddenly snapped and slaughtered their wives and children. But a series of eerie coded messages left at the crime scenes indicate that someone or something is influencing these horrific crimes. The cryptic letters are signed by someone calling himself Lon G Legs.
Lon G Legs.
Buckle up and hold on tight. And then this does say to tune back in on Monday, July 8th. So
yeah, so they're probably going to add something.
We will, have to come back.
Yeah.
This is all creepy.
Yeah. Is that a headless body right here?
I think so. There's this photo, I think, is in one of the victims. I think if we click over here.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's this photo here. So.
Oh, yeah. So it might just be a sheet over a body? Is that what it is? Oh, it is a sheet over a body.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's that
it
same
looked
picture,
like
just
these
sideways.
Look like shoulders.
Yes.
This looked like a white shirt with
does.
like a headless, area. And I thought the neck was no. This is just a sheet thrown over a body. Okay. So the only thing I've heard about the killer in this movie, and you can plug your ears and go nah if you don't want to hear anything about Nicolas Cage in this, because we haven't seen him. We've seen him briefly. You can pause it, and because when he does this in the trailer,
I hate that.
When he's talking to the girl at the counter, We hear a little bit of his voice, and you can call a number, which we actually should do, because we did call the number, and we can just listen to the message right here. So if we could pull up that number, that would be cool. I think I sent it to you, but I don't know if you want to look for it that way. The only thing I've heard about him, and this is super interesting to me, I don't think this gives anything away, but it gives us a clue as to what to look for, kind of how his appearance is going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Is they likened him to this is going to be a surprise, but a glam rocker.
Oh,
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that looks like in my head.
Like a glam rocker,
like glam rockers,
as a rock star.
Yeah.
Like with like a Twisted Sister kind of thing.
Exactly.
Huh. Okay.
Like Poison or glam rock, Cinderella.
That's
Rat.
creepy. Okay, so this number is 458-666-4355.
Well, you can copy it right off the picture.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I do it all the time.
I lost it.
But you have to save it because I don't think it'll let you. But yeah, you can copy things right off of pictures. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, here's the phone number on a billboard that you can call.
Hopefully you can hear it.
You will be able to hear it.
There she is. And what's your name? Little angel? Nice to meet you. Oh.
See you soon or something.
I'll be waiting.
I'll be waiting.
Oh man.
I'll be waiting. Yeah, I don't know. Is that supposed to be a voicemail sent to Micah Monroe's character?
I don't know. I don't like it though. I don't like the way he sounds. Like, ugh.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So the thing I love about all of this is a lot of movies, they put a lot of their focus and attention on the marketing side of things as like trailers and cool posters. But to me, this shows that number one, they're very committed to this project, right? And Osgood Perkins has come out and stated like he's not taking credit for the marketing. He said that's mostly Neon.
Yeah.
That this is like mostly them, which is kind of shocking to me. But as I said, this is such brilliant marketing because it tells me a couple things. It definitely tells me, number one, that they have so much faith in this project. But two is like they're very committed to it. And this is the kind of promotion I want.
Yeah.
This is like full immersion.
Yeah.
This gets me so in it, right? As to where just like a trailer and then you go into the theater, like that's all fine and well.
Sure.
But like, one thing I loved about Star Wars and I love about Star Wars is there's so much extra lore.
Yeah.
Like I was reading, like when The Force Awakens got announced, Disney started releasing their canon books and we got the journey to The Force Awakens. And I was reading all the books leading up to it. And I was reading all the books after and the journey to The Last Jedi and all that stuff. And it gave us, and then the Rogue One, they released this book called Catalyst, which was all of like the backstory of Galen Erso, who created the Death Star. And it's all his time, building the Death Star and how he was brought into it. And he brings Jyn with him as a kid while he's, having his relationship and everything. And it's really like, it adds so much to the film. Yeah. It doesn't give anything away.
Yeah. Well, that's what's exciting
about it. It just gives so much, like it gives so much extra context for something that they can't fit into the film.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes it very immersive.
Yeah, having more content that doesn't go into the film is always really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. You can read too whenever. I probably shouldn't read all this.
With 38 kills to his name. So I don't know where this starts, right? Like, so what is 38 to the movie? Is 38 going to be the number he's at when the movie starts? Is 38 where he's going to be at when the movie ends? Right? Like, I don't know what 38 means. Is this the information that they have at the start of the film? Are we walking into this film as if we're the detective, seeing the case files right now as they are? Because I don't know where the case sits.
Yeah.
Right? As is. Because Micah Monroe is like the Clarice Starling of the film, right? She's the detective, and she is being brought into this case, and I don't know how far into the case it is. Why is she being brought in 38 murders in, right? That seems like a long time to wait to bring in the lead detective. Does the other lead detective die? I mean, maybe we'll find out in here. Like, I don't know what that means. So I am curious on, are there murders taking place? Is it that they finally have linked them? I can't imagine that because they have notes all signed by the same guy.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that's the same person doing it, especially with the ciphers and everything like Zodiac. So I don't know what this means exactly, but I'm very excited to check it out. Anyway, with 38 kills to his name, Longlegs has torn apart the lives of 11 different families throughout the Beaver State. His victims were good people, honest fathers, decent mothers, innocent little children. Aren't all children innocent? They were church-going, God-fearing. What year do you think this is set in? It all looks very 80s.
Yeah, it looks very like 80s or 90s.
You think this is going to be like It Follows, where we're like,
ooh, I would love that. I like
about
that
the time period, which is
Yeah.
funny because Micah Monroe is in It Follows, which is
That'd
what
be cool.
it does that.
I think
as well.
I think that's always a fun way to handle films, is to make them ambiguous as far as the time period. It makes them feel more timeless.
I think she's on a cell phone in a trailer.
I think
but like
so
an
too.
older like StarTAC
90s.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, these families did not deserve their awful fate, and it behooves us to make a moment of silence to honor their memory. Or to take. What did I say?
To make.
To make. To take.
So the
the Applewhite family. So this happy birthday, I'm assuming, or does he kill families? Because
I mean, he's the birthday. This is the birthday murders, so I think they're all on birthdays.
And they all have kids.
Yeah.
So he goes to like birthday parties.
That would be weird if he's like an entertainer.
Okay, hold on. So on the night of July 14th, 1966.
Oh.
So, okay.
Well, let's read.
But what did it say at the top? Did it say it was over a long period of time? 11 different families throughout the Beaver State, apart from their lives, this and that. Decent. No.
It doesn't say
Okay,
that.
so it
So
doesn't.
let's just
Okay,
see.
go ahead.
Okay, along with their 9-year-old daughter Teresa Harland and Patricia Harland and Patricia Applewhite of Damascus, Oregon, appeared to be a prototypical American family. Harland, a certified public accountant with the firm of Chesney and Seifert, and Patricia, a homemaker, first met while attending Easter services at St. Boniface's Roman Catholic Church. They married in 1955, and shortly thereafter, Patricia gave birth to their one and only child. Little Teresa was said to have a smile that could light up a room. A student at Primrose Lane Elementary, Teresa was fascinated by butterflies and caterpillars. She hoped to be an entomologist when she grew up. Unfortunately, she would never have the chance.
Terrible.
Yeah.
On the night of July 14th, 1966. So this might be his first murder. We'll see.
Yeah.
But if it is, then it's 66. Even if we fast forward to 2000, that's 34 years later. And Nicolas Cage is in his 60s. So if he was playing, like if he started the murders when he was in his 20s, you could bring it up to the 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah.
At pretty much the oldest. So there's no way it's modern.
No.
There's no way it's 2024 if the first murder's in 66. Anyway, the Applewhites were killed in their home on the 3400 block of Rhododendron, whatever the fuck street.
Rhododendron?
when you're making this shit up, why you gotta make something so crazy?
What's it? Rhododendron is probably a flower.
It's crazy. Initially, there didn't appear to be any mystery as to the circumstances.
Clackamas?
Clackamas? Like Christmas, but like clacks? It's like instead of Jesus Christ, it's Jesus Clack. Clackamas County Sheriff Roy Wicker ruled the killings a murder-suicide, committed by Harlan. Yet no one, friends, family, co-workers, could imagine Harlan would do such a thing. They characterized him as a loving husband and father, a model of stability and sanity. Harlan's sister, Mrs. Eveline Dahl, stated, "I never believed he did it. Not for a minute, not for a second." You should just lead with "not for a second."
Not for a minute, not for a second,
not for a millisecond, not for...
What made the crimes even more inconceivable was their grisly nature. Patricia and Teresa were killed with an 8-inch carving knife. According to medical examiner Dr. Hugo Portis, the perpetrator completely severed Patricia's jugular and then proceeded to stab her more than 20 times in the chest and abdomen. The little girl was tortured before she was killed.
Damn.
Her internal organs were removed post-mortem.
Damn, these are gruesome.
Wow. Sheriff Wicker is on record saying, "This was the goriest crime scene I've ever witnessed," adding, "Whoever did this was ruthless. Law enforcement authorities determined that Harlan had acted alone, slaying his wife and daughter before fatally turning the family's 12-gauge shotgun on himself." So this is Harlan. Obviously, there's a shotgun next to him.
Right. So he blew his own head off, supposedly, in their initial findings. And before so, murdered his entire family on their kid's birthday, right? It's the daughter's birthday. Did they ever specifically...
Actually, they don't say.
They don't even say it's a birthday at all.
But it says happy birthday.
It does say happy birthday.
It just says on the night of July 14th. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Here's a birthday cake in the fridge. In this, like, old punch pitcher. Here we go. The thing that didn't add up was the letter, Wicker recalled. Police found a letter inscribed with sigils affixed to the refrigerator. The note was written in a cipher of strange exotic symbols. "We didn't have any luck cracking it, that's for sure," Wicker remembered. "The handwriting didn't match Harlan's or anyone else's for that matter." The only part of the message that wasn't written in code was the neatly written signature at the bottom, Longlegs. Frustrated in their attempts to decipher the letter, law enforcement...
This is still the same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Law enforcement officers
Sorry, my daughter text.
It wasn't important. Years later, when the case was reopened by the FBI, the coded message would turn out to be a key piece of evidence. So we don't see...
I didn't hear much of that, so can you just not read it again? But
just that there was a letter that was on the refrigerator.
Okay,
and
so there is
the handwriting didn't match Harlan's or anybody else's. So they didn't know what to do with that.
But we don't see this letter.
No, we don't. That's not here. So let's go on to the next...
Hey, Anthony.
Clover family.
Okay, so the Clover family. The Clover... what is that movie called? The Clover... Clover Hitch?
I don't know. I've never
Murders or something? The Clove Hitch. It's Clove. That's why it's fucking me up. I'm like, Clover. That's not right. The Clove Hitch Murders. That's a great movie. Another really good, like, murder mystery type of film. Highly recommend it.
The crime scene photos too, Jacob.
Yeah, me too. No, Mom has agreed to take me there, but if you don't want me. What? I always want you. Sorry, my daughter's texting about coming home, and she knows she's always welcome here.
Killer.
So
yeah, based on the BTK.
Clove Hitch Killer is fantastic.
That guy was.
Did I say Clove Hitch?
I think you said the Clove killings.
No, I said Clove something.
Clove family. I don't
know what
know.
the fuck I just said. I don't see when I'm talking to my kids. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me when I'm talking to my kids because my focus is completely solely on them, as it should be. Anyway, the Clover family. Marshall Clover and his wife Carol lived in Echo, Oregon with their 10-year-old daughter, Miranda. According to all who knew them, They were a happy family. Just add to it. Just add to the
Yeah,
weight
they were
crushing me.
such
They were
a
like
happy
they were the happiest
family.
family that ever lived.
Everyone was
actually.
like, wow, they're just so happy.
On June 20th, 1968. So we are 2 years later, right? June.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost 2 years.
It's in the summer.
So he's doing summers so far. On June 20th, 1968, their happiness would come to an end. Jesus.
Damn it.
Their white shingled house, good thing this is fictional. Their white shingled house on Waxcap Way had always been kept in immaculate condition. Neighbors called Carol a first-class homemaker. Everyone loves these families. No one's like a piece of shit. No one's
Not yet.
like, you know,
Like, that
the
kid
Clover
was kind of
family, kind of glad.
Yeah.
They fucking had it coming.
Wait, you skipped it.
What did I skip? The house was so drenched in blood, they had to tear it down. Is that real thing? They couldn't even clean.
over.
They couldn't do anything. Said next door neighbor Merlin Block couldn't get the stains out of the floors and walls.
Dang.
Jesus, Merlin. All right.
Oh, great. Umatilla County Sheriff John Squires ruled the killings a murder-suicide perpetrated by Marshall, a successful travel agent. There was something about it that didn't sit right with me, stated Squires years later. I knew Marshall personally, and I just couldn't reconcile him doing such a thing. Not as brutal as all that, certainly. The murders were committed with the same savagery as the Applewhite killings, though this time there was an additional element, satanic imagery indicative of a devil worshiper. So,
Is it?
We don't see that.
It's not here? Okay. We do get some stuff later on,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm surprised we're not seeing more photos, but anyway.
They're too happy.
The signs were all there. Squire, did you read that one?
No, not yet.
Okay. Squires commented, the pentagram written in blood, the number of the beast, it was some pretty demonic business. Yet Father Melvin Childress of St. Casimir's Church affirmed that Marshall's had always been a good Catholic and added that, well, God didn't do much for him here, I guess, and added that he had served as a sexton for several years. Everything about the case baffled authorities. As with the Applewhite's case, a letter was left on the refrigerator written in blood. Or written in
coded
blood.
letter.
Why did I say that?
Because you saw it here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I did. Written in coded characters. At the bottom, the message was signed in ink, Longlegs. We didn't know about the Applewhite's case, Sheriff Squires recalled. No one put them together until years later. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're
So
because they're in
first
different
two.
counties
Yeah.
and it's the 60s. That makes sense because they didn't communicate with each other
No, they wouldn't.
back then.
Until, like, there was a...
Criminal database.
Yeah. I love that the dude who wrote this article needs to paint each family as a traditional 1950s style
Yes.
God-fearing family.
Because that's kind of what they would say in the
of
60s.
moral consideration otherwise. Yeah, totally. They
That's
would. They would be like, they
100%
were
how they
such
either-
great Christians.
yes, 100%.
So we don't see either of those letters, but I know that this one
No, it's not
no.
that one.
Okay. The
Not yet.
Pendergast family. Thomas Pendergast had been acting strangely for a few days before it happened, according to his employer, Arlene Stanhouse.
Was he aghast?
He was probably Pendergast. He was nervous and kept mumbling something about his youngest daughter not really being his daughter.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So I wonder if that's the phone call.
This is the phone call. So
Ew.
we have a name to go with that voice in the first.
Oh.
Okay. Thomas Pendergast.
Pendergast, a grocer.
I was aghast when I watched that trailer.
And his wife Loretta were the parents of two young girls, Rhonda, 10, and Louise, 9. They lived in a white 2-story house on Beaverton Road in the town of Sisters, Oregon.
Sisters.
According to all who knew them, they were a quiet, happy family.
Were they God-fearing?
I know. Probably.
Thus it came as a shock when Thomas decapitated his wife and daughters with a cleaver on the evening of August 9th, 1969.
This is
so
the next year. 'Cause it was
66, 68. So he's
69.
escalating.
Yes.
So that's always what happens,
So this
right?
is doing it
They
every-
take so usually what happens with serial killers, to my knowledge of them, I don't study them that much, but anytime I've ever looked into it, it always starts like with Jeffrey Dahmer's, it was like he does one, then they freak out, think they're going to get caught, and then time passes and they don't get caught, and that like desire to do it again starts building, and then they finally get up enough courage to do it again, and then when they don't get caught again, then it starts escalating, and then they can't stop themselves, and they get more and more like close together. So that's cool that this is going from 2 years to 1 year, and I bet the next one's probably even less time. Anyway, thus it came to shine, blah blah blah. Deschutes. They deshoots you if you don't fucking abide by the law. Deschutes County Sheriff Scott Wampler. I'm a Wampler. That sounds like a car.
Funny last name.
Jump in the Wampler. Let's get out of here. Called The Crime Scene a horror show, one of the bloodiest I've ever seen. The bodies were lined up next to each other on the floor in the dining room. So that makes sense for the photo we see of all the arms together and the long legs. The cause of death in each case was determined to be exsanguination or severe loss of blood. After killing his family, Thomas walked into the garage where he shot himself in the head with a Remington model 1100 12-gauge shotgun. It seemed pretty cut and dried. Wampler said of the case, the only thing that stood out was that damn note. A letter in a pink envelope was found on the refrigerator. It was written in a coded alphabet. The message was signed, guess what?
Longlegs.
Legs.
This is a creepy picture too. It's like
9. So there's one here at the bottom that's like, this. And inside of it is this. So this one does have a code in it because, as I said, I perused earlier. And you can actually, there's stuff down here that you can click on and add to it. We'll get there, but I recognized this and knew that there is an actual coding. So maybe that's true with some of the other ones, but for now, we'll just stick on to this. But what's this saying?
If we had known about the other letters, maybe we could have put something together. Maybe we could have stopped him, Wampler said regretfully. Instead, his office ruled the killings a murder-suicide carried out by Thomas Pendergast.
Man, these fucking cops.
They needed to communicate.
They suck, man.
They do.
They're like, I'll just murder-suicide. I don't want to deal with it.
As with the Clover murders, pentagrams were found on the walls of the house. Yeah, that was some weird diabolical mess, stated Wampler, recalling the harrowing scene. The extreme carnage and, well, all that devil stuff was pretty disturbing.
I'll buy in the 60s that they just kind of walked in and were like, this dude started praying to Satan and killed his family and left some creepy-ass note on there.
Yeah.
Because we just watched an X-Files episode where, they were investigating like a cold case. And in the case, they were talking about how the detectives that were on that case were trying to use like criminal pathology to solve the case. And at that time, it was seen as like, devilry. It was like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't study a criminal's mind. Like, what do you,
they're just insane. There's no point trying to understand it.
That show, Mindhunters, is supposed to be like the first guys that really like cracked the code and were actually able to criminally profile people in a pretty effective way to start solving murders from serial killers. And, we just didn't understand serial killings at that time, even though they had been going on for plenty of years, right? I mean, you go all the way back to H.H. Holmes, right? During the Chicago, the World's Fair.
Well, we even have like
that was like the late 1800s, and
Jack
he was
the
a
Ripper,
serial.
too. Like, yeah,
so they existed. We just didn't, we didn't have the dots to connect.
No,
and we didn't really the first like American serial killer that we know of that was like prominent on display was Ed Gein, and that was in the 50s. And that was just an unspeakable, horrific act at that time. Yeah. But I don't think that I definitely don't think he's the first.
No,
he's just the first that they put together.
There also was like a huge shift too in trying to understand mental health.
Sure.
You know, in the 1900s.
Well,
and so
perfect example of this is that Filipino horror movie I just watched based on the first serial killer in the Philippines.
Right.
Who killed, like, I forget the number, but it was an insane number. It was a really high number, like way higher than any of this shit. It was like 100. It was crazy. It was wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know the most prolific serial killer, like the top 2 are both from like not Brazil, but somewhere in South America. And in the number 1 guy has like 400, and they're all like kids.
It's awful.
And the guy below him is like 350, and they both live in a country where the max like prison sentence you can get is like 20 years.
What the hell?
Like no matter what you do. And like the guy who killed like 350 people got out after like being in jail for 20 years.
Crazy.
Like imagine killing 350. Like there's 400 decapitated kids that he'd raped.
Oh my
after
God.
The fact.
It's so crazy.
And you look into it and you're like, how can someone be so terrible? But like, how do you not piece this together? And it's like, if you're not looking, or if there's not a force that understands it, that's why this is so important that we understand these things.
That's why this is really believable, as you said, that like in small towns.
Look at this, 1960 to 69 to 70, and it's April.
Yeah,
so his date is moving up.
Yeah.
Like I had said, it probably would.
So the Wormwood family. On the night of April 18th, 1970, Lester Wormwood called authorities to report finding his brother Curtis and his family murdered in their home on Marigold Drive in the town of Gaylord, Oregon. Curtis, 39.
Have fun with this one. A technician with the
Multnomah County.
I'm from Multnomah
Management Division, and Eugenie, 38, a nurse practitioner at Grosvenor Hospital. Grosvenor.
You can just read all of this shit. This is way too complicated.
Had been married for 15 years. They met while undergraduates at Oregon State University in Corvallis.
What are all these fucked up names?
I actually know Corvallis because I was looking at moving to Oregon at one point in my life, and I was looking at Corvallis. College sweethearts and best friends. They
have the perfect life. They're the best people.
They married shortly after graduation, and they would go on to have 3 daughters: Julia, 14, Patricia, 11, and Cynthia, 9.
So they all have daughters specifically, and young ones.
Yes.
So he likes to kill young girls, like really young girls.
Bye, Jimmy. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming by. And you're right, they did capture the horror of real life crime.
Yes.
In these.
The Wormwoods were remembered as the wholesome family next door.
Yeah, he likes to go after people who seemingly look like they have the perfect life, which actually makes perfect sense. If he's someone who is jealous of that kind of picturesque, perfect family, he's targeting them specifically because, I don't know why he's going after little girls, why he wants to do that. Maybe his parents paid more attention to his sister, because like I know that because my mother was fucked up from the fact that everyone in the family loved Brenda and not her. And I got to hear about it my entire childhood, how much Brenda was better than her and how much, why can't you be like Brenda? And if you fuck up a kid enough like that, and he has a young sister who gets everything and he gets nothing, and he's seen as a freak while she's seen as a princess, and they have this picturesque, perfect family, and he's the black sheep. It's like, I want to tear down that family that I was raised with. I mean, I'm just guessing here.
No, it's a good guess though.
Yeah.
Hi, Kyle. Welcome.
Well, you can always rewind it.
Yeah, you can always rewatch when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Wormwoods are remembered as the wholesome family next door. Curtis, a native of the Umpqua River Valley, loved to hike the Kalapuya. These are Native American words. Yeah. I'm assuming. So that's, Eugenie was known to volunteer at the local Humane Society. No one saw it coming when Curtis butchered his wife and daughters with a carving knife.
Of course not.
After
Let me guess.
murdering
Murder
his
suicide.
family, Curtis killed himself with a single shot to the head.
Yeah, here we go.
Lester Wormwood, who found the bodies, took his own life 6 months later.
Oh, wow. So the guy killed himself after having found the bodies. And of course, they have the perfect family.
Yeah.
We knew we were dealing with something none of us had seen before, recalled Coos County Police Sergeant Garth Franklin. That was easy, at least.
Yeah.
All of the victims had been stabbed to death with their throats filleted open all the way across.
Oh, like this. Oh. Across. Oof.
According to Franklin, the killings contained a particularly brutal level of cruelty. Detectives found themselves puzzled over who would have wanted to cause harm to any of the victims. The walls of the house were covered in pentagrams painted with blood.
Mm-hmm.
The number 666 was drawn on the floor. The satanic connection was unmistakable. Now, this car is seen in the trailer.
Mm.
This car right here is in the trailer. The new one where Micah Monroe comes out of her house and she sees him like in the house behind her. And then the kid's like,
yeah,
is it scary to be a female FBI agent? A lady FBI agent? Yeah.
Yeah, see here. Another coded letter.
Yeah. Was discovered attached to the refrigerator door with a plastic magnet shaped like a tiger. The letter was signed Longlegs. Little Maxine in the background here. On the TV, we have Carnival of... Oh, sorry. We have Carnival of Souls. I meant to do this.
I think it's almost done, though. It might be finished. This is a Michelin ad.
It's not finished. It's a full-length movie.
How
We've
come
only been
the
on
Michelin
for 51
stars are...
What about the Michelin stars?
I still don't understand. Anyway.
You don't know what why restaurants want Michelin stars? So it used to be because Michelin would put out a road guide of all the places to stop along the way. And restaurants were fighting for that because when people would travel, they would take the Michelin like road guide with them, and they would stop at the restaurants that were on the Michelin guide. And so if Michelin gave them like a star, that would be like the prestigious, like this is the dining area you want to go if you're visiting this city. So it was like a huge deal. Now it's just more of tradition. It's kind of just like it used to be a big deal. Now, of course, they don't make road things anymore, but it's like it's become a prestigious thing, so it's more tradition than anything. Anyway,
it is almost done though, by the way.
I worked in restaurants for years, so anyway,
we thought this was fitting because it's creepy as heck.
Yeah, well, I wanted to put on something that wasn't going to get us knocked for copyright. And so I put on that in the background because Kaylee had it like with this cool green, but it like blurred the screen, and I was like, we can't have that. Let's put something else. The cryptogram made me think of the Zodiac thing. The Zodiac killer was in the late 60s. Yeah, that's right. Referring to the Zodiac killer who operated in Northern California in the 1960s. But this wasn't like that at all.
At the time, we believed whoever killed them was let into the house. Either that or it was someone who lived there. It didn't take long for law enforcement to determine that Curtis Wormwood was responsible for the murder of his family before he took his own life. We had no reason to think it was done by anyone other than Curtis. No other suspects, no accomplices. Jack Fimple, an animal control officer working in the area, recalled seeing a white station wagon, possibly a Chevrolet Nomad, in the vicinity. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood, he declared. Anyone who doesn't belong there tends to stand out. So this is that Chevrolet Nomad.
So I've always found it fascinating, and it makes sense. And this is why I think serial killers that do not fit a specific MO. So like typically in criminal pathology, like when we watch these criminal shows that we watch, they always talk about how, like when we watched Copycat, with Sigourney Weaver. They had talked about how there aren't any serial killers that don't follow a specific MO. That they all have like rituals.
Right.
And they all have very discernible, obvious MOs, modus operandi.
Mm-hmm.
And that you can always figure out like who's who because of what they do. And it's like, is that true? Like this guy, he clearly has a very obvious MO. He likes to kill happy families with young daughters, and he makes the father look like it's a suicide. He puts pentagrams, 666 in blood on the wall, leaves a cryptic freaking code to decipher on the refrigerator. Like this is he has like a very obvious MO.
Yeah.
But the serial killers who don't, because I personally do think they exist.
Sure.
You just don't know.
You don't know.
The best.
Well,
the craziest. Have you ever seen Mr. Brooks with Kevin Costner?
I haven't, but I was gonna say, isn't that why the Night Stalker took so long to catch too? Because he like didn't really have a specific type.
He did not have a specific type of person.
Yeah.
They could always tell it was him because he always used the same methods.
Yeah.
Right. But he literally just targeted anyone.
Yeah.
The dude was raping old ladies, like really old.
Awful.
Like 80-year-old women and young girls. Yeah. Like it didn't matter to him. It was all about just the thrill and the overpowerment.
Yeah.
But he got his ass overpowered. That's how he got caught.
Yeah.
A bunch of civilians saw him out after his description was put out there, and they fucking tackled his ass. They all chased him through town and apprehended him citizen's arrest style. So he wasn't that fucking powerful. He couldn't throw those guys off like Neo in The Matrix Reloaded. He's throwing all the Agent Smiths off. You're not that fucking tough.
The Hess murders. Hess murders?
The Hess murders, yeah. On the morning of March 12th, 1971. So we went from
April 1970.
So he waited over. No, it's like 11 months. And the one before this was April 70 to April. Is it this one? No, June. It's this one. Right? Did I miss it?
No, that's
69.
Oh yeah,
August. 69. So he actually moved down on this one because this one is only August to April, so that's 8 months, and then from this one to this one he moved it up to 11 months.
Yeah.
Now that's just the record, right? He could have had a killing in between this.
That's true.
That we're just not seeing. It is all made up, but for fun. All right. Let's see. On the morning, March 12th, 1971, police responded to the white Dutch colonial house of Eldridge Hess and family in Oysterville, Oregon, after Eldridge failed to show up for work the previous day. When officers arrived, they described smelling a distinct foul odor emanating from the house. Yeah, I mean, would bodies rot that fast and let off a stench within a day? Maybe if it was hot enough. What is it?
In March. So in Oregon, it would not be hot.
No, I don't think you'd get a smell that fast.
Would be humid, probably.
Yeah, bodies take a little while
Maybe there's something
to start to decompose. You usually get a few days before you start to get that kind of, just from animals that have died and like under the house or whatever. You find them later, and it usually takes a little while. And then watching a million fucking CSI type shows in my life, I don't know if you get a smell that fast in a day, but whatever. Inside, they found the bodies of Eldridge, wife Roberta, and 9-year-old daughter, Mary Kathleen, each stabbed over 30 times with a long serrated bread knife taken from the family's kitchen. So he likes to use knives, sharp weapons to kill the family. He must kill I would assume he kills the dad first, right? Because he has to take him out, shoot him. So he probably has a shotgun He finds the dad, kills him, and then comes in and works on the family. But you would think that in a like a neighborhood,
somebody
a
would
gunshot would hear,
Yeah.
and then they would call the police.
Yeah. I think these are kind of in rural areas, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
that one
not.
picture we saw of the car,
was
that
like in
looked
the
like,
middle of
yeah, it was
nowhere.
like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I would assume that some of these are in like more housing tract communities. So you would think a gunshot, he would have to do it after. But how do you subdue the father without leaving any ligature marks on his wrists, without any like abrasions or contusions from knocking him unconscious, any particular hemorrhaging? Although if he blows his head off, he's not going to show any, hemorrhaging in his eyeballs or anything, I suppose. But it's mostly just gunshots through the head. I'm overthinking it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I've just watched way too many CSI type shows. Anyway, go on. Eldritch, an air traffic controller.
Eldritch, an air traffic controller, had been a reliable employee. He hadn't reported for his shift on March 11th, nor did he call to inform his supervisor that he would be unable to come in. Calls to his house went unanswered all day. What the police found shocked them. Roberta, a hairstylist at the Razzle Dazzle Salon in Sunny Ridge, had been beaten so badly her face was unrecognizable. Mary Kathleen's hands and feet had been removed.
Jesus Christ, that's the kid, right?
Yeah, that's the 9-year-old. The bodies were discovered in the family's basement. Eldritch was found in the master bedroom, the victim of a self-inflicted knife wound.
Oh.
Forensic examination showed that he had killed himself within an hour of his wife and child. The family's pet parakeet was found decapitated in its cage.
Jesus, man.
Aww.
It's turning into Dumb and Dumber.
Aww.
Our birds' heads are falling off.
In the following weeks, the neighbors on Siuslaw Road became fearful. Many decided to arm themselves. Some suffered adverse psychological effects. Reports circulated of a tall man with long hair loitering in the neighborhood.
Here we go.
Rumors held that a satanic cult had been involved. Police soon ruled that out, as well as several other bizarre theories. In the absence of any solid leads, the crime was ruled an apparent murder-suicide.
So long hair would fit the glam rock look that we were discussing. And from what I saw of the trailer, dude, his face looks fucked up. Like, it looks odd as hell.
Yeah.
You would notice that guy in the 60s when everyone was, like, labeling
very
people.
Clean cut,
Yes.
or if you weren't, you were like a hippie or whatever.
Yes.
Eldritch Hess was presumed to have killed his family and himself in a fit of sudden, unexplained rage. No clear motive could be established. We don't know why he did it, said next-door neighbor Earl Pomeranz. It just didn't make any sense. Eldritch and his family were
good Christian people,
claimed Father Benedict McComas of Our Lady of Sorrows Catholic Church.
So I would assume from this, now having read all of this, that he's following them home from church. Since they're all good-fearing, church-going people, how does he find them?
Yeah.
He goes to churches and he stalks them home. So he goes into a church. He sees a family that looks picturesque. They have a little daughter.
Yep.
They have daughters.
Yep.
And he follows them home. It's the
Yeah.
perfect way he would be able to find these people. And if they're going to church, they're supposed to be the good-fearing, God-fearing Christian people.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling he's going from Oregon town to not ever leave two bodies in the same town, because he knows at this point they don't communicate. He's going into a church, or is he at least sitting outside of a church, waiting for families to come out that look idealistic, that have a daughter,
And
following them home in his little station wagon, and killing them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hundreds of mourners attended their burial service, he added, and none of them could understand why Eldritch committed such a heinous act. Nokomis told the Oysterville Gazette, "It may have been a devil thing. That's the only way I can make sense of it." The front door of the house had been adorned with a large inverted triangle carved directly into the wood. The mark of the B666 was etched into the back door. On the refrigerator, a coded message was found in a pink envelope by local police. The letter was signed Longlegs.
Shout out to my daughters. who are in the chat. You shouldn't be in the chat, girls. Don't
shouldn't.
listen to anything they're saying. This
This
is
is-
all made up. It's all fake. Don't worry. They're only 11 years old. So, and they'd be prime target for Longlegs.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be following us home from church, though. So we're probably okay.
We're not the God-fearing
We're
type.
not the God-fearing type for
Here,
sure.
read this.
Satanic cult on the Oregon coast. The tragic event occurred on the family's residence on 5050 Main Street on the evening of September. The death of Jane Doe and her children is a tragedy, and our thoughts and prayers. That's like not saying anything at all. The investigation is ongoing, but the police department has stated that they believe the suspect, John Doe, had a history of violence.
Oh, so this is not the Hess murders. This is like another thing that is a Jane Doe. So this was in September. So it's possible that this happened in September of 19 like after this one, the August 9th, 1969.
Yeah.
It's possible that this was September 19
the one in between
or whatever. Yeah. But it's the unidentified one. So here's this one. I know
this is the one that has the cipher.
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah. The Angstrom family,
Yeah.
Warren and Vivian Angstrom, which of course I read Armstrong when I first saw it because I just fill in this is like one of those, where you can change all the words in the middle.
But the letters,
just fill them in.
Yeah.
Or letters. Yeah. That's what I did with this word. Had been together for nearly 10 years. Let me guess. They were the greatest couple in the history of the world.
Yes.
Warren and notary public at the Salem Municipal Courthouse met Vivian while bowling at Shenanigans Lane in West Staten. They soon married and settled in the town of Elkhorn. You want to move to Elkhorn, Oregon, babe? Better than fucking where we're at. I'll tell you
100.
that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
The couple loved to go fishing in the Yamhill River every spring. Polly, their only child, was a 9-year-old who attended Lonnie Elam. Lonnie Elam? Anybody?
What?
Okay, someone's having a little fun throwing in a Halloween character. Little Lonnie Elam.
That's cute.
Ain't gonna get out of the 3rd grade. Yep, little Lonnie Elam. That's funny. Okay, that's okay. As cute as that is, that does take me out of it a little bit. Even though we're like sitting here and being like, it's fake, it's fake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Seeing
the
that
fun in ARGs like this is to pretend like it's real.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So like seeing Lonnie Elam, there's no way there's an actual Lonnie Elam. Elementary school. Walker. Yes, my daughters would like to confess their undying love for one Walker Scoble from Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the new television series on Disney Plus, not the old movie. So now I've embarrassed the hell out of them, and we can continue. But if you can see by their little picture here, they've met him, and that is them next to him. That is their ride or die for life. Anyway, did we read all of that? Yes. And then brutally murdered. Lonnie Elam Elementary School, where she was awarded Student of the Month shortly before she was brutally murdered. She only had 1 day left on the force before retirement. The little girl had been stabbed over 40 times. Girls, cover your ears.
Oh my God.
With a 12-inch chef's knife. Her face was sliced off with a vegetable peeler post-mortem. Thank God that happened post-mortem. Vivian, 34, was found in a pool of blood with a boning knife protruding from her stomach. Warren, 38, had gouged out both of his eyes with a screwdriver before slitting his own wrist. You're telling me the guy boom, boom, and then slit his own wrist?
Right.
Deputies responded early on November 17th, 1972. So November 72
March. Right.
To March 71. So that's a huge gap. That's a year and a half. So they did not escalate on then, although, as we said, you might have murders in between. After receiving a call from a traveling salesman who had knocked on the door to the Angstrom's family residence of Baylock Street, Police Lieutenant Travis Hobson was quoted as saying, "I never believed that Warren Angstrom was responsible." We're getting very repetitive here on this stuff, but I guess that makes sense. But with all the evidence pointing to the contrary, the case was ruled a homicide-suicide. That's a harder way to say it than murder-suicide.
Yeah,
homicide-suicide. Appleside. Someone or something made him do it, Hobson added. He didn't do all that. We have a young son in the house.
We do.
Good thing he's not into boys. Someone or something made him do it. He didn't do all of that of his own accord. Warren was described by all who knew him as a natural family man, yet what became of his family was anything but natural. So we've got the knife here, and a bloody hand. The interior walls of the house were decorated with a series of inverted triangles. A copy of the book The Golden Bow. Bow. A study in magic and religion by Scottish anthropologist Sir James George Fraser was found on the bedside table. Turn to page 187. 187 is the police code for murder.
Oh,
so we know.
I wonder what's on that page, because that's a real book.
Yeah. On the refrigerator, a birthday card was inscribed with a coded message. The card was signed Longlegs. So now this has been we've got this decoded here, and it says, a sweet treat to make you smile. 9 circles we descend. You never forget your first friend of a friend of a friend. So 9 circles, that's featured in the trailer as well. Micah Monroe's character is reading the book
Dante.
9 Circles
to
Hell or something. 9 Circles of Hell or whatever.
Isn't that Dante's Inferno? Isn't there?
It specifically says in the trailer, like 9 circles of something, I want to say.
Yeah, you're right. I had thought it was something about Dante.
Yeah. We're looking at it right.
There.
It's right here. Wait, I think this is the wrong trailer. I think it's the problem. This is the wrong trailer. There's another one. I think it's this one. Anyway.
Yeah, I think it does say 9 circles. I'm pretty.
This is one where we see his car too. So she's looking at this. There's his look right there.
Yeah. Was that
it's
it?
right here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 Circles of Hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then next to that, she's got the Dark Lord's Hand, maybe. I think it's what it maybe says. I don't know. Charlos is here. He ate chicken, cheese, and potatoes today.
What's up, Charlos?
My birthday is coming up. He'll be 35. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
It's really fucking early, September. Anyway,
so that's what the letter says.
That is what the letter says.
Neighbors recalled seeing a yellow moving van circling the block in the days leading up to the killings. I saw it one night after the Johnny Carson, acclaimed neighbor Ida Cass. I remember thinking, who in the heck moves furniture in the middle of the night? If this vicious...
Plus, if you live in fucking Arizona.
Yeah, it's true. People do move in the middle of the night.
Hell
here.
Yeah, I would. Our neighbors just did.
Yeah. If this vicious crime was indeed a part of the Longlegs murders, it would have been the 6th set of killings perpetrated by the killer. Years later, when the case was reopened, the Federal Bureau of Investigation noted that the crime may have held special significance for the murderer, as 6 is the number of the devil. The Weir family.
Okay. The Hemlock Police Department announced the bodies of 4 people were found on the evening of August 19th, 1974, which is how many years later?
Like 2?
Yeah, so he's really spacing them out now. In an apartment Oh, an apparent, sorry. In an apparent murder-suicide, Jasper Weir, a systems administrator with the firm of Beckwith and Halloran. Halloran, shout out to Dick Halloran from The Shining, I can only imagine, is suspected of killing his wife, Ethel, and their 2 daughters, Veronica and Rosemary. 2 daughters. We don't get ages on them yet. 12 and 9. There they are. Before taking his own life. He loves them 9-year-olds, man. Yeah. I feel like almost every one of them has a 9-year-old.
I think so.
Yeah. Ethel, who worked as an office coordinator with Seward and Sons, was found in the bathroom. The bodies of the girls, Veronica 12 and Rosemary 9, were found in the living room. The girls were said to be straight A students at Mapother Street School. Family members recalled that Veronica wanted to be an astronaut when she grew up, while Rosemary had hoped to be a keeper at the Cape Disappointment Lighthouse. Cape Disappointment?
It's a weird name for a cape.
Man, she really got disappointed, I'll tell you that, at least. In nearby Washington State, the family enjoyed swimming and other recreational activities at Hag Lake. I'll meet you down at Hag Lake.
Hemlock Child Protective Services was called to pay a visit to the Weir house after the girls had missed several days of school. The HCPS in turn alerted law enforcement. After collecting physical evidence, the Tillamook County Medical Examiner's Office determined that Ethel and her daughters died from profuse loss of blood due to multiple knife wounds. Forensic pathologist Dr. Dominic Waldron was quoted as saying, "The mother was stabbed exactly 66 times."
66.
Yeah. So here's that picture.
Yeah.
Hemlock Police Captain Cody Hammond described the killings as hellacious. He noted that the murders were clearly the work of a sick and twisted mind. Similarly to the Angstrom family, a copy of the Golden Bough was found on Jasper's bedside table, turned specifically on page 226.
Yeah.
This is kind of hard to read. Magic and religion.
The whole universe is subject to the gods. The gods are subject to the spells of the Brahms. Therefore, the Brahmins are our gods. The radical conflict of principle between magic and religion sufficiently explains the relentless hostility with which in history the priest has often pursued the magician. The haughty self-sufficiency of the magician, his arrogant demeanor towards the higher powers, and his unabashed claim. So, shit, how'd you do that?
I just opened it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking much easier.
I know.
It doesn't show it here.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's in a different thing. Oh, wow. It was like this big.
Yeah.
I have very good vision. Even without these glasses. These aren't for vision for anyone who wants to know. This is for something else. Where?
Right here.
His arrogant demeanor towards the higher powers and his unabashed claim to exercise a sway like theirs could not but revolt the priest, to whom, with his awful sense of the divine majesty and his humble prostration in presence of it, such claims and such a demeanor must have appeared in impious, and blasphemous usurpation, Jesus, of
prerogatives.
Jesus. These are words that I'm not familiar with. Like, I know the words, but I don't read them often. So like seeing them is like, oh yeah, like I know those words, but I never see them in any of the books I read, funny enough, that belong to God alone. And sometimes we may suspect lower motives concurred to whet the edge of the priest's hostility. He professed to be the proper medium, the true intercessor between God and man, and no doubt his interest as well as his feelings were often injured by a rival practitioner who preached a surer and smoother road to fortune than the rugged and slippery path of divine favor. Hostility of religion to magic and history. The hostility comparatively late at an earlier time. Magic cooperated and was partly confused with religion. These are like little side notes on the side that are kind of smeared. And then there's this whole thing. I don't know if any of this matters.
I mean, it cuts off. Yet this antagonism, familiar as it is to us, seems to have made its appearance comparatively late in the history of religion. At an earlier stage, the functions of priest and sorcerer were often combined, or to speak perhaps more correctly, were not yet differentiated from each other. To serve his purpose, man wooed the goodwill of gods or spirits by prayer and sacrifice, while at the same time he had recourse to ceremonies and forms of words which he hoped would of themselves bring about the desired result without the help of God or devil. In short, he performed religious and magical rites simultaneously. He uttered prayers and incantations almost in the same breath. So, yeah, and then there's stuff down there, but that's, I don't think, important. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously doing some kind of ritual stuff with the satanic symbolism and everything. And the fact that he's leaving this there.
Do you think that this movie will go in a supernatural route at all?
I was kind of thinking it would. Yeah. Which I like. I'm happy for it to do that.
So if we look at his other films for comparison, right? If we were to look at The Black Coat's Daughter, a.k.a. February, in that we have, I guess, what's left as a somewhat ambiguous ending of whether or not this girl's actually getting messages from the devil or not.
I think it's fairly ambiguous, yeah.
Which I love. The more I watch that movie, the more I love it. I've seen it maybe 3 or 4 times now. I'm a big fan of it. It is a very slow film.
Yeah.
And I would assume that we're going to get a very similar paced film here. All of his films are purposefully slow burns. And then if we take Gretel and Hansel, that is like
1,000%.
Yeah, just straight supernatural.
Yeah.
And then I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. That's a ghost movie.
So it's very possible that this could be, if anything, it's actually very likely that this is probably going to be supernatural.
The worst he's done so far is flirted
with it being ambiguous,
with it being supernatural.
Yeah,
that's the least. That doesn't mean he has to stick to that.
No,
by any means.
I just have a feeling that
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's straight. Now, maybe it might be left open to interpretation if he's getting some kind of messages.
Yeah.
Or he is conjuring something with what he's doing. But I don't see anything. The only thing in the trailer that definitely has me like, is the face under the black veil.
Yes. I think that's very creepy and very like supernatural looking.
I don't know if that maybe is his childhood.
I don't know.
Right? A flashback to his childhood and maybe when he saw the devil with his family.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
And that's what possessed him. I don't know. I don't know what to take from that.
It's a shame, but only because they were straight A students.
Sure. Yeah. If they got C's, fuck them.
Yeah. Anthony thinks he's going to go supernatural. Okay. Hi, Big Joe Grizzly.
I'm Big Joe Grizzly, bitch.
And hi, Danny. Thanks for joining. The white 2-story house on Grimaldi Way would never be looked at the same way again. The Mount
What the fuck?
Golgotha neighborhood
what?
Was described as reeling after the murders were discovered.
These names are like, I feel like they have some kind of meaning to them. Like Golgotha?
Yeah.
I gotta Google this word. What is that? That's just too bizarre of a word to use randomly. Because if I was making this shit up, it would be like, Cherry Tree Lane or something, you know what I mean? Like very obvious American, like Ash Avenue,
right.
Crap like that. Golgotha is not something you're gonna. Okay, Golgotha from Latin, bald head or skull.
Whoa.
Skull-shaped hill in ancient Jerusalem, the site of Jesus's crucifixion.
That's very specific.
That's very specific. This is what I'm
Huh.
saying. There's no way you're using words like Golgotha and Grimaldi unless you're using them for some specific purpose, right? Did he go to streets that have Grimaldi's? The only thing I know is pizza.
Yeah, it's like pizzeria.
Yeah, I know the Grimaldi's pizza place, but I don't know anything else. Why is Grimaldi's famous? Grimaldi's is famous for its coal-burning ovens, which are heated to a temperature of 1,000, almost like hell.
Yeah, but then there's also this, the House of Grimaldi,
The house
which was the reigning house in the Principality of Monaco.
Monaco.
Which is something in
Monaco, babe.
Mo-
Why are you had me in my head?
I'm sorry.
And I was like, Monaco.
It's because of all the weird words we've been reading today.
No, that's yeah, anyway. Isn't that where that's
know.
where Casablanca is, right?
What just happened? Oh my god. I started
That's
playing
okay.
something.
That's okay. Isn't that where Casablanca is? At the Hotel Tangiers in Morocco?
I don't know.
Oh, but that was Monaco.
Yeah, that's
Monaco's
Morocco.
where
Monaco's in
I
Italy.
think that's where they go for the card game in Casino Royale. Or is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm always
Here,
linking everything to
sorry.
movies.
That's
how I do things.
I assume it'll be similar to True Detective season 1, where the supernatural is involved, but it's subtle. Yeah, I love
I'm with
season
you on
1
that.
of True
I
Detective.
think it'll be
so
very, very.
yeah.
Howdy from Tampa.
What's up?
How's it going?
I lived near Tampa. childhood.
Okay, sorry. The Mount Golgotha neighborhood. So I don't know if this was named. Is there a Mount Golgotha? Mount Golgotha. Let's see if that exists.
In
Is this
Oregon?
even a real place? Let's see. I am going. I don't know actually.
You have to type in Oregon
Where is Mount or
because it's Jerusalem.
it says Jerusalem. So
Yeah.
Rock climb Golgotha in Smith Rock. Wait, are you sure?
Oh wait, maybe not.
Living rock picture. No, I don't think
it's
so.
real.
No, they're using these
Yeah.
names specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
definitely a fake place.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Many neighbors claim to have seen an elderly woman in front of the Weir house in the days prior. Others would swear that Jasper Weir would never do something like this. According to neighbor Muriel Fogarty, Jasper was not a violent man and added, "I never saw any signs of abuse. Jasper may not have been violent, but that August night he behaved like a psychotic lunatic. His wife and daughters had to be buried with closed caskets due to the amount of savagery involved." Hammond described the murders as ritualistic. As with the previous killings, a note was discovered on the refrigerator signed by someone or something calling himself Longlegs.
It's in there. We have this one deciphered as well. This is the Weir family one. I'm going to say this. With the 8 to 12 people that have came and stayed and everything, I appreciate that. Thank you to Anthony and Jacob and everybody else who's here and has been here since the beginning. But I'm going to say this. This is definitely when this movie comes out and is as good as it is, I'm going to say that we were some of the only people that had the faith and the belief in this movie that makes fucking videos. Because I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I have posted about this movie 100 fucking times on
People are
Facebook,
just like,
and no one
yeah.
pays attention to it at all. When I post about Maxine, when I post about the obvious ones, I get all these comments. But when I post about Longlegs, I was going through it today on my Facebook within Sinister Cinema, and I was looking, and all my Facebook posts about Longlegs got almost nothing, no attention at all.
Yeah.
And with this, we're breaking down the Longlegs murders right now on here. No one's coming.
Yeah.
I am telling you, everyone is sleeping on this film, and they're making a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there to tell them, ha, 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 this movie fucking rules. You guys should have noticed the marketing for this. And the fact that you didn't is upsetting because this is the best horror marketing campaign I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's great.
Outside of maybe the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The
This
Blair
kinda
Witch
reminds me
Project
of
is
it.
very,
Yeah.
very close.
Yeah.
And Smile did a great one, but that was just mostly people smiling.
This is
right. This
much
is
more
way more involved.
intensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Weir note says whiter than milk, the slider can, you catch the cuckoo bird, sister destroyer, take it and eat it, turn your stomach sour.
Whiter than milk, the slider can catch, you can catch the cuckoo bird. So now I know that a lot of people, because I've been on Reddit threads, I never go on Reddit, ever. But I have been looking at Reddit threads on this because this has me so involved. And I know that there's a lot of talk of this band, T-Rex, and that he is like quoting, and this is like his band that he's talking about in here. And that Slider is the name of a T-Rex album. And that a lot of this has to do with like the band T-Rex. So take that for what it is. I don't know anything about the band T-Rex. If I've heard a song from them, I don't know it. It's not something that I'm familiar with, but supposedly this has something, according to Reddit people, they are positive. The last two lines of this are from Revelations as well. Revelations 10:9. So I went to the angel and asked him to give me that little scroll. He said to me, take it and eat it. It will turn your stomach sour, but in your mouth it will be as sweet as honey.
What?
I took the little scroll from the little angel's hand and ate it. It tasted as sweet as honey in my mouth, but when I had eaten it, my stomach turned sour.
He called in that phone call we did earlier. He says little angel. He calls her little angel.
Yeah.
Creepy. So Hammond characterized the letter as eerie and claimed that we even contacted a cryptographer to try to decipher the thing. As each of the Longlegs killings took place in a different county, there was no communication or cooperation between the various authorities, and no one made a connection until years later when the FBI reviewed the cases.
So we've got what part of Tampa?
Oh, I'm not from Tampa. I'm near Tampa. I was in Sarasota.
He's from Lakeland, which I have no idea what that is. It sounds like a theme park. It sounds like a water park.
Land of lakes.
Let's go Lakeland. Cloverfield has some good ARG. We talked about that earlier. Jacob had brought that up where they like buried the box in the ground and people like went out and found it. And it was like it wasn't advertised like we have something buried.
Right. It was just like if they find it,
people figured out the like the codes in the messages.
Super cool.
And then someone actually like drove to the freaking, the location that they found.
It's super cool.
And dug it up, and we're like, holy shit, there really is something here that like J.J. Abrams and company like buried in the ground. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is super cool. I have a feeling the veiled figure is intricate to Micah Monroe's character story and what might come back to haunt her throughout the investigation. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of get the sense that I from the trailers, it sort of seems like she has a religious history. I can't tell if we're seeing like her childhood or what, but it does. Yeah, it's interesting.
Necromechanical, just so you know, this has like, as much as this has to do with the case, this we have gotten confirmation that this spoils nothing in the film. So you are free to hang out if you'd like, but if you're still weary, I completely understand. All right, more murders, ? At this point, the trail turns cold. So the last murder, as of whatever we're looking at. Hey.
Oh, hey, Zach.
What's going on?
You got back from Maxine.
Okay, what'd you think? We were a tad disappointed. Kaylee liked it more than me. I'm sure you saw the review.
What did you think, though?
The last murder was 1974.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to assume is maybe we're going to get into here. I don't know.
It says it right here.
Okay.
I just saw it.
At this point, the trail turns cold as Longlegs appears to have vanished for more than a decade. So we're into 1984 at least. No more murders, no more letters, no more seemingly demented familicide. So that's when you kill a whole family. Okay. What started out as a series of unrelated murder-suicides is now looking increasingly like the work of a mysterious and unhinged serial killer. In the next entry of the web log, we'll learn whether or not Longlegs continues to kill. So it looks like, yes, here,
Yeah.
the Banister family in 1987. So he goes from 1974, 13 years later,
Yeah.
to 1987 and 1986. We'll get there. Okay, a break in the case.
Breaking the case. Personnel at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Mulder and Scully,
Yeah.
had never seen anything like it. 8 murder-suicides connected by coded letters left by someone calling himself Longlegs. Special agent in charge of the Salem Criminal Investigative Division, Chester Chet Van Adder, stated, "We had to go back and look at all the old cases." Van Adder stated that the undertaking was particularly arduous, as some of the law enforcement officers involved had retired. Some are no longer with us. The modus operandi of the 1966 through 1975 killings was substantially similar to that of the new killing. It was an enigma, Van Adder recalled. We were all puzzled as to how someone could have pulled it off. Maxine was pretty good, but not great. Overall, pretty solid as a trilogy.
I agree.
Yep. He's immortal.
Is he immortal?
Still, we had those letters, Van Adder said, which clearly pointed to the involvement of an outside assailant. The satanic aspect, well, that just made the whole thing even more sinister.
So is it possible that Nicolas Cage's Longlegs character is maybe not a copycat, but an apprentice?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
like his dad was doing the killings and he takes them over after his dad's death, right?
Yeah.
Like he finds out about his dad's death. Maybe he like took record of it and
Yeah.
then copied his father.
Yeah, I think that's
So
definitely a possibility.
It is possible that he did not do the killings, and that's why there's such a huge gap between. Or he went to a different city. He went to a different state for a decade.
Did it for a little bit, and then he got off his trail.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's that.
We're here.
In 1986, FBI forensics analysis confirmed that there were no fingerprints at the crime scene from anyone outside of the families. I don't know when they started fingerprinting. I know that came to pass. They started a fingerprint catalog under when the FBI freaking, why am I blanking on his fucking name right now?
I don't know.
J. Edgar.
Oh.
J. Edgar Hoover. He's the one who started like a fingerprint database. And I think it was after the really famous freaking pilot's daughter went missing, and they investigated that case. Jesus, I'm blanking on names right now.
Are you talking about Amelia Earhart?
No.
I don't know then. I don't know what you're
No,
talking
I
about.
know.
Sorry.
It'll come to me. Sorry. I'm just
okay.
so in my head about so many different fucking things right now.
Well, we need to get through this because we've also been on for almost 2 hours, and our dog is starting to whine.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll burn through this. Next, handwriting experts determine the letters the same. We're all written by the same hand. Okay, so if there's a new letter and it's the same hand, then that would suggest that this is not him copycatting his father. The agency soon established that there were no links between any of the families involved. They exhausted every possibility or possible connection. Now I'm trying to read too fast. Connection before determining none of the families were in any way related. We knew we were dealing with someone calling himself Longlegs, Van Adder noted, but we didn't know a whole lot other than that. There was no physical evidence linking Longlegs to his crimes. Van Adder expressed frustration with the case and its lack of credible leads. If not for the letters he left behind, it's almost like he was never there at all. The FBI agents were stumped. They knew they had nothing to go on. At that point, it was only a matter of time before Longlegs started killing again.
Mm-hmm. In the early
So, like, how do Daddy Longlegs kill? Like, what is their method?
I thought that Daddy Longlegs
they don't do webs.
I think that they're actually, I don't remember where I heard this, so this could be wrong, but I heard that Daddy Longlegs are like actually super venomous, but
but
they can't bite humans because it's like their mouths are so small or something, which is weird to me. I'd have to look into it, but I don't know.
So
how
they're
they
deceptively venomous because
or deceptively like.
What do you think Longlegs means?
I don't know.
What do you think that means? Why?
I mean,
why
you
is he
think
Longlegs?
But maybe it's a reference to like some demon or something that has long legs, since he's all into like magic and stuff.
Do you think it's a like an anagram?
Oh, it could be.
I don't know what an anagram like from Longlegs, or maybe his name is a cipher itself.
Yeah. Maybe.
Right?
That's true.
Because there's ciphers for like where you take the L and move it over to like an S.
Mm-hmm. Or it's his name, like you had guessed.
Lawn.
Just Lawn, G-Legs.
Whose last name is Legs?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being like an anagram.
Maybe that's his like nickname he was given when he was a kid.
Yeah.
That stuck with him.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like
a nickname.
Yeah, like he was, he was like a runner in school or something, or like he had freakishly long legs, or because like the trailer had suggested in the very first time I saw it that kid had long legs. Yeah. Right.
Sorry, hold on. Oh, he broke that off. Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyway, in the early morning hours of October 17th, 1987, the Malheur County Sheriff's Office responded to a call in the town of Crowley. Crowley is a famous magician. Aleister Crowley is like super famous.
Not to mention Victor Crowley from Hatchet.
But this is, I can almost guarantee this is a reference. This is more Aleister Crowley because they already talked about the Golden Bough and the triangles. I wonder if that's like a Thelema? Is that Crowley's religion? Anyway. He was kind of crazy. He was like a crazy dude that did like a lot of drugs.
Charles Lindbergh. Charles Lindbergh's daughter, like baby, went missing, and they were holding it ransom.
Okay.
And then they accidentally like killed the baby, and like left it in a field.
That's awful.
And because of that, because it was so high profile, because it was like a rich white guy, the FBI, of course, cared way more about it.
Yeah.
And then, they caught those guys. But I think that's the case that led to them creating fingerprints.
Okay.
Or at least that's what the Leonardo DiCaprio movie said.
There they discovered the bodies of the Banister family, victims of an apparent homicide-suicide. The body of Mother Frances was found bludgeoned to death with a ball peen hammer?
Yeah, ball peen hammer.
In the family's kitchen. Her daughter Veronica was discovered in her bedroom, also the victim of a hammer attack.
Hammer time.
Family father Reginald was found in the garage, the victim of a self-inflicted gunshot wound with a Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun by his side. Here's the shotgun.
That's an old-ass shotgun.
Yeah.
That's a repeater. That's not a shotgun. That's a repeater. That's a rifle. But that might be like a different kind of shotgun. But those are shell casings that don't look like a shotgun to me. That looks like a repeater rifle. Anyway, whatever.
The deceased were remembered as an all-American family. Reginald, a roadway standards engineer for the city of Crowley, was also a decorated U.S. Marine. Neighbor Arnold Grott described him as a pretty likable guy. Francis, a food services specialist at Pakula International Hospitality, was a native of Bend, Oregon. 11-year-old Veronica was a popular sixth grader at Folksidae.
Oh, fuck off.
Folkaday?
Let's see what that says.
Folkaday Elementary.
There's no way it's Folkaday.
Why? Why is it not Folkaday?
I don't know, man.
Folsidae?
That just sounds wrong.
Folsidae.
Folkaday.
We'll do the pronunciation.
Cellar
It's a
spiders. It's a fucking
spider.
long-legged spider.
What?
Daddy Longlegs.
Longlegs. Daddy Longlegs spiders.
Yeah, that's the name
What?
for is a cellar spider. Yeah.
Poisonous. Are Daddy Longlegs harmless? Do focus. There's been
They
a
pose
myth.
no threat to people
Oh, yeah.
whatsoever.
This says that there's a myth floating around for a long time that daddy longlegs are one of the most poisonous spiders. So I was
But their
wrong.
fangs are too short to penetrate human
Oh,
skin.
but they could still
For
be
the record,
poisonous,
this is
then.
completely false. In fact, daddy longlegs
Oh.
don't have venom glands or fangs at all.
Wow.
They pose no threat.
To people.
So that's kind of funny. So he takes a harmless spider,
and he's super
but here
dangerous to
that
people.
name is like a scientific word
Yeah.
for daddy long leg
Yeah.
spiders. The Fulcidae, as you said, are a family.
Fulcidae. Oh, it's probably die, right? How do you
Fulcidae.
say by
Scientific name for daddy long legs? There you go.
Wow, that's cool that we looked that up.
Mm-hmm.
An avid scholar and burgeoning piano prodigy. The decedents were laid to rest on Sunday, October 25th, at the Visitation Catholic Church, where Father Gregory Dunn delivered the eulogy. Scores of mourners attended the funeral. Services director Martin Heap of Bolin and Reed Funeral Home called the ceremony the most touching he had ever seen. The house on Dashwood Lane remained cordoned off with yellow crime tape for several days. Members of the Malheur County Sheriff's Office joined a task force being led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. FBI agents are said to have found a letter in a pink envelope at the crime scene. The letter, written in a coded alphabet, was signed in ink, Longlegs. So I wonder, is this one that has been decoded as well?
Hold on. I don't think we have that one, but we do have Fulcidae.
That was an actual person.
It actually sounds like full city.
Fulcidae.
I'm going to a full
So
city.
this is the Banister family.
Yeah. What am I looking for here?
Google?
Yeah. Here.
Mm.
And then continue. I don't think we have a.
So we might not have a translation for this one, but then
if someone
it says,
wants to send me one.
Yeah, if anybody's seen
If you can find it right now, please put it in the comments. What is the
for the Banister
Banister family? I can't. They're very hard to decipher. So
this one was different because of the MO. It said Chester Chet Van Adder, SAC of the Salem Criminal Special Investigative Division. This was the first case where the perp used a hammer. Law enforcement officers theorized Longlegs had grown bolder in his approach following his return to killing, enabling him to use a different type of weapon in the murders. And then we move on to the Gatis family. This is kind of a creepy picture. So,
what about?
You want me to keep going? I'm just saying this is a creepy picture.
Okay, I'm almost there.
Fulcidae.
Okay.
The Gatis family.
Okay. Edgar Gatis, a compliance officer for the Hudnut Company, and his wife, Ramona, a court stenographer. Hey, shout out to my client, who's a stenographer, the only stenographer I've ever known, resided in the town of Cherry Heights, Oregon. Their 13-year-old daughter, a little older this time, Valerie, was a student at Henry Haig Junior High School on the night of February 12th, 1989. So we're all the way up into 89 here. So we're probably in the 90s, like you had said. Edgar is said to have killed his family and then himself with a carving knife. Valerie Gatis, head had been removed from her body. A pair of kitchen shears protruding from her stomach of her mother, Ramona. It was pretty unsettling, said Van Ader. One of the worst crime scenes I've ever encountered. The Gatis family was laid to rest the following Sunday at the Church of St. Adalbert, Bishop and Martyr. The service was officiated by Bishop Errol Garver and arranged by the Shondell Family Funeral Home. Garver called the killings a great tragedy and pronounced them a terrible loss for the community. Let me guess, because they were the greatest people that have ever lived.
Because they're so happy.
The bodies were found when neighbor Lily Niederfuhr, dude, that girl needs to go back to Germany. The Fuhrer came to the house on Chauncey Street to return. I just got to return some videotapes.
Yeah.
Cassette tapes she had borrowed. I knocked on the door and didn't hear an answer. Stated Niedenfuhr. When I saw the door was unlocked, I pushed it open and went inside. What she happened upon was disturbing, to say the least. Yeah, you think somebody's fucking kid's head removed? I would say.
Yeah.
I haven't slept since. Yeah, I bet. She immediately called the Wasco County Sheriff's Department. Deputies found a letter on the refrigerator. According to Deputy Rebecca Sace, I knew what it was as soon as I spotted it. As Sace suspected, the letter contained a coded message signed Longlegs. We don't have this one either. FBI forensic specialist Dr. Carl Maya stated there was no physical evidence on site to link the crime to anyone outside of the family. With the amount of blood, you would think we'd find a shoe print at least. But it was almost like it's supernatural.
Yeah.
As it said. But there was no DNA evidence. See, they're at DNA at this point in 89. And no fingerprints. We knew Longlegs was meticulous, said Van Adder. He left no signs he'd been in the house. The post-mortem examination yielded no additional clues. Van Adder retired shortly after the Gatis murders, handing off the case to his successor, Special Agent William J. Carter. So we're not up to Harker yet. Lee Harker is the name of Micah Monroe's character. So we have no mention of her. So I don't think she's going to even get the case at the end of this. If I have one regret professionally, Van Adder said, it's not catching that son of a bitch Longlegs. He's easily the sickest, most vile killer I've ever come across. Members of the Abaddon.
Oh, which is that's like a demon.
Yeah, from hell. Yeah. All demons are from hell.
I was going to say, it's not the demons from heaven.
Yeah, not the demons from heaven. Abaddon Hills Neighborhood Watch believed they had solid lead. Some neighbors recalled seeing a white station wagon with a brown faux wood paneling parked across from the Gatis house. It looked to me like a Chevy Caprice. And Len Matsuzek, early 70s model, the FBI would not comment on the ear. Oh, what? How'd you get that? Oh, you printed it?
Okay, the Horn family. 4 members of a family were found dead on November 14th, 1992, in an apparent murder-suicide in Troutdale, according to
So we're 92 now. Damn.
Yeah, County Sheriff's Office. Curtis Horn, an instructor of creative writing at Bramford Community College, is said to have decapitated his wife, Teresa, a phlebotomist, and drowned her daughters, Mary, 12, and Kathleen, 9, in the bathtub. He arranged their bodies in the boiler room in a strange formation before walking to the garage, where he fatally shot himself in the head with a Smith & Wesson Model 686 revolver. That's
the Longlegs picture.
Is this the Longlegs picture? Because what
family.
The hell?
That's the
These
Longlegs
legs
family.
are so long.
So he fashioned them into a pentagram.
This weird. Yeah, it's creepy, man. An 8-inch chef's knife was found near Teresa's body. Dr. Grace Pittock, FBI clinical pathologist, stated the perpetrator used so much force the blade snapped off the handle. An uncle told Local 10 news reporter Ken Landreau that the family had been dead for 4 days before they were checked on. Partially wrapped presents discovered on the dining room table suggest the Horns were preparing for Mary's birthday.
Another birthday. The
Horns had lived in the house on Hallbrook Drive for 12 years. Their neighbors described them in glowing terms. Curtis coached t-ball. Teresa ran the bake sale at St. Agatha's. The 2 girls had been star students at Tillicum Elementary. I feel like we should look up all of these elementary schools because
there's something.
Sure.
That's
a whale at SeaWorld? Aw.
Nordic something? I don't know. It's alright.
Maybe it has a meaning.
Friends?
Relation, tribe, nation.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe not on that
Maybe
one.
that one. They were model citizens, just like all of the rest of Longlegs' victims.
Yeah.
The Horn family was laid to rest at St. Agatha's Catholic Church in a ceremony officiated by Father Balthazar. Isn't that also a demon? Balthazar is like a demon.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like that.
Balthazar Thorn. The services were arranged by the burial home of Green Gates and Young.
That's the kind of name you would go into, like the Church of Satan.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to join the Jesus Church, though.
Balthazar.
As always, a pink-coated letter was found on the crime scene signed by Longlegs.
So he brought this card because it's the same card from the other. So maybe this is a different Balthazar. Bell protects the king. Is commonly attributed to Balthazar Magnus, one of the 3 wise men, at least in the West.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different demon name.
Beelzebub.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking.
I don't know this one. Fellow readers, what do you make of all of this? What could have compelled Longlegs to come back after such a long hiatus? Is it intentional that he only kills families with small daughters? I have theories of my own, but welcome any questions. So this is like Hunter Killer.
Yeah.
You all may have, after reading through this weblog, email me at info@babymurders.net, and I might just include your questions, theories, and potential tips on the next update.
So that's the July 8th.
Special thanks to Jason Smith. No, I'm just kidding. Jackson Smith from Oysterville for sending over some of the CCTV footage of a strange individual that matches the description of the man seen at the Hess murders back in the 70s. Could Longlegs be back on his old stomping grounds? Let me know what you guys think. So you click on these, and so if you can decipher these, which we have, you can. I don't know. So let's check them out. I have not opened them yet, but in here
we might have to share the screen.
These.
Oh, what the hell?
There's a password.
It's like a zip file that you have to put a password into, and there's all these different TIF files. I don't even know what the TIF is.
Okay, so it says here, hold on, let me see, because if I opened it up here, I can read it off my phone.
They have all these like numbers too, like 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 0 3 1 5 2 1 1 2 4. I don't know if those mean anything. Feels like they would. And it's all November. The date modified for all of these files is November 11th, 1992 at 3:33 a.m.
Half of 666.
Yes. Huh. So that's weird.
I tuned in. So hold on. Let me see. What is this? Wait a minute. What? Oh, wait. Oh. Interesting. I was putting it in wrong.
There's an AVI. What are these, though? All of these are password protected?
Well, I need to... Hold on. Can I put it here? And then... Let's see.
That's not it for that one. But we can play this, maybe. That wasn't there before.
They're all password protected, which is kind of bullshit.
They're different. So there's different passwords?
There's not.
Wait, hit cancel and then scroll down, because this, like, when you did the first one, it opened up a bunch of these.
Yeah.
What's the first? You need...
Did I put it in wrong? I don't think so. Let's try it again. This is bullshit if it is. X mark. I think I did. The spot.
Huh.
It opens the first thing.
Yeah. What about this? Oh,
Which
those are
is-
the others.
I don't understand. So that one I've opened now. Password yes.
What about extract all? No, that's not it. Hit cancel.
This is interesting.
This is weird. We're trying to like get into these files, but
I don't understand. Please enter the password. There's numbers for each of these. 114. This isn't what I have to put, right? Like this number?
I don't think so.
Oh, you know, well, hold on. Is it, hold on, what's this? A, what's the 14th letter?
I don't know.
A, B, C, D,
I know.
E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N.
N.
N, and then D. Or how about, what did I say? N?
M.
A, N, D? Sorry, we're trying to figure out the password for each one of these, but they all have different names. This one's 114.4. This one is 114.4, 8, 5, 19, 20. So do any of the numbers go beyond 24? Doesn't look like it. So
Yeah.
to me,
Are there spaces?
I did put in spaces. Did I do that wrong?
I don't know. A, B, C,
Did I?
D,
Is it?
F, G, H,
Or maybe
I,
it's
J,
M,
K,
like you
L,
said.
M.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
it's N. It's definitely N.
maybe they're capitalized. Like and.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
Oh, duh. Okay, I wasn't even thinking about the word and.
Yeah.
So and no name and maybe this spells out a word. Oh, maybe this spells out a.
And.
You know what? It might. Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's weird.
So I wonder if these have names to them.
Yeah.
Like 14.4. So and once again 8, 5, 19, 20. So like are these are all words. There's a lot of Greek letters in that. Is that something? You guys can't see what we're doing right now.
Sorry, we were.
I don't know if I can share this with you or not.
Window. Go to window. Yeah. And then it's. No.
Wait, no? Are you
It's
sure?
This one.
This one?
Yeah.
So this is what we're seeing. And so if we go back, when we go to open, okay, let's try to open up this with the password.
Oh, okay.
So we
That
got
one
these
works.
open.
They can't see those.
They can't see this?
Nope. They can only see the window.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I know.
Oh,
can-
man, with the share the screen thing, this is annoying.
You can,
Can I just share my fucking screen? Like, just share the whole thing? Entire
Yeah,
screen.
you can do
Boom. Share. There. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's do this. So here's this picture. The Longlegs. Then we go in here.
Oh, it's a different angle
It's a
of that
different
one.
angle. They're by the water heater. Somewhere hot. And then 11212. What's 12? That should be L.
Yeah.
All. So all 20 would be 4 back from Z, which would be W. Wait.
I literally can't even.
Z, Y, X, W. AW?
Aw. All ah.
315. So that's C. I'm only assuming that
Yeah,
these are.
I think you're right,
This
though.
is all.
Yes.
Right?
And the other one was
Because
and.
14 was N. 2 back from that would be L.
Yeah.
Right? 20. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S,
It's
T,
O.
U, V, W. Oh, W. Okay, so V. A, V?
Av. All Av.
No, that can't be right. R?
Hmm.
R? No, it doesn't make any sense. AR? No, because that's not even
No.
close. That shouldn't even be.
I don't know. A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M.
Wait, there's 26
P,
letters in the
Q,
or
R,
number
S,
letters
T.
in.
It's T.
Oh,
AT.
that's why I'm fucking up. How many letters? 24
At.
hours
All
in a day.
at.
I got it. Yeah, all
C,
at. Okay, that's
O.
why. I don't know why I got that confused in my head. I'm just trying to do too much at once. Letters to numbers converter images. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so 3 should be C.
C.
15 is
O.
O. 21.
U. COU.
12.
L. COUL.
COUL.
And 4. D. Could.
All at. Could. Is that right? What's 12?
COULD. Yeah.
9.
9 is I.
Okay. And
All
then,
at could I. It's probably
all jumbled up.
It's probably all jumbled. Yeah.
14.
14 is N.
5.
E.
22.
V.
5. You said E.
Never. I'm assuming.
And then 18.
18. Yeah.
And then 20 was O.
20 is T.
Oh, T. 8.
H.
And then 5 was E.
E. The
21.
U.
14.
N. Am I guessing under?
4.
D. E.
5.
5 and 18.
Yeah, and then 19.
19.
Wait,
is that
under?
the new? Yeah, that's the next
And
one.
then
So that's
20.
under.
Well,
20 is T.
1. A.
A. Yeah.
14.
Where are you at?
Right here.
Oh,
It's all right
okay.
here. 14.
Is this gonna be like underneath?
No.
14. 14 is N.
Oh, N.
Mm.
And then 4 was.
4 is D. Underneath.
This is gonna be understand. I think we missed an S.
Did we?
Yeah, understand.
Oh,
And
you
then,
must have missed it. Yeah.
23.
23 is it W?
Okay. 9.
9 is I.
14.
Is N.
And then 4.
4. D.
Yeah.
Wind.
At all at could I never the understand when. I could never understand the wind at all. I could never understand the wind at all. I could never understand the wind at all.
Maybe. Understand.
So that one.
Could never understand the wind at all. Is this
Oh,
the fuck is that? Oh, that's him.
Is this him?
That's supposed to be him at the funeral home. So that's the back of his head at the funeral home. Just more of those.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, another letter.
Another letter.
Who the
God, I
frick
want
knows
to.
what that says.
I want to decipher all of these.
Oh, this is just all different angles.
It's all just different angles of.
Wow,
long
and so then
legs.
this folder we can't get into because it's we can, but it's
Yeah, we cracked the
maybe
password.
this is I could.
Oh,
never
No. It's way too long.
understand
Dave.
the. Oh yeah.
Way too long.
I thought maybe.
But 114.4
Oh yeah. I guess we could.
is A, 14 is N, and 4 is D. And we already put and.
But there's
But it's-
more.
What?
There's a lot here.
For that one.
Mm-hmm.
But if this one doesn't work, why would this one work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we could try 28.5 and see if that works. But 15.6, that's easy. 15.6 is O F of.
I think we need to probably sit and.
Do you think
And this is spelling something out as well, obviously.
Yes, I think it's a riddle.
Maybe, yeah.
I think it's a riddle.
Well,
maybe that's what this is to start. Maybe that's what this is to start. This is because what this is X marks the spot. Right?
yeah.
This is what the code is for this.
Yeah.
And I could never understand the wind at all.
Yeah.
Is that what
I mean, I think that makes the most sense, right?
X marks the spot? That doesn't make sense to that. All at could I never the understand wind. So the wind
could never understand I at all. That doesn't make sense. It has to be I could never understand the wind at all. It has to be that. What else?
Yeah. So yeah, this freaking I think it's this one. I don't know. Is it the one above it? What?
I think it was 9.
Was it just 9?
Yeah. Oh, it's creepy. I don't like that. We got to take this puppy out to walk.
Yeah. I wish we could definitely. Okay, hold on. So there's that one.
The second.
Then there's this one. Let's just see what's in these really quick. Where's my phone? Yeah, I mean, this is fun. We could have definitely taken more time before the friend of a friend.
Can you click on the wave file?
What happened? Oh, it decrypted that for us.
There's
okay.
a pineapple.
There's a pineapple for fans of Psych. What's this?
Ugh, I don't know.
Oh,
We don't have anything to open that. Oh, whoa. That's creepy.
There's an actual dead corpse.
Another letter.
cipher. Okay, we got man. I'm gonna work.
There's
on
a lot
these.
of stuff to do.
I'm gonna work on
Ooh,
these.
This
See, this is gonna be fun
creepy.
even after the movie comes out. These will still be like fun for years to come. We're
What is
like
this?
we're still figuring things out.
What's this? This is just black. I bet you can like change the
Yeah.
opacity or something. Or not the opacity, but the contrast.
Yeah, the contrast.
What the hell? Oh, it's creepy.
Look at her freaking the way her feet are crumpled back.
I know.
A
Can we
wave
play
file.
this?
Ooh, media player. Hell yeah, do it. Double click. Ooh, we got a file.
What's your emergency?
Oh, it's a 911 call. It's not my daughter.
It's my daughter.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is from the trailer.
But it's not my daughter.
It's not my daughter. It's my
Sir,
daughter. It's
who's
not my
your
daughter.
I gotta be quiet.
I gotta be quiet.
I gotta be quiet.
Sir, where are you?
When she's sleeping. When she's sleeping, it's the best time to do it.
Do what?
When her eyes are closed.
Sir, can you stay on the line with me?
what? When she's sleeping, it's the best time to do it.
So, is he getting these fathers to kill their daughters, or is he getting
Maybe.
the fathers to kill themselves? Because from what we've heard from the trailer, that is not Nicolas Cage's voice
Yeah, that's
on the phone. So the dad of one of these kids is calling in and saying, that's my daughter. That's not my daughter. The best time to do it is when she's asleep.
It's creepy.
So has he gotten into their minds and made him like think like he has to kill his family because they're demonic?
I could totally see that. What's this one?
The last one?
Yeah.
9 circles we descend.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm kind of blowing through these because our dog is like crying.
Oh shit.
Oh, you okay?
I just get bit.
Oh no.
Freaking
By Daddy Longlegs? Oh no. Ooh.
Weird.
These are all super creepy. This is the first murder, I think. Those weird feet again.
Oh,
the hair. Oh, dude, that's gnarly. It's a JPEG. What?
it's like a undeveloped photo,
Yeah.
basically. Once again, maybe a contrast thing.
Yeah.
We just need more time with this stuff.
I know.
I didn't think it was going to take this long.
The photo numbers are spelling something out. We just don't have time right now to sit and go through them.
Yeah.
But we will.
I think it's spelling out some kind of riddle
I agree.
that we need, and that's the password for all the next things.
Wow, this is super cool though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you could spend a lot of time with this. I probably will, but this is the gist of it.
Wow.
So I think we'll end it here.
Yeah.
But
So
thanks for hanging out, everybody. We had a good time. We got to walk the dog.
yeah, we do.
We got shit to do. I thought this would be much quicker. I did not expect to spend this long on it.
I kind of thought we were gonna get into it. I had a feeling it was gonna go. But yeah,
Anyway.
thanks for everyone that hang out with us.
Yeah.
Jacob, Ricardo, I know Duratan's been here. Anthony maybe is still around, and
Perhaps he influences people to kill. Yeah, exactly. That's
similar
what
to
I'm
the
thinking.
Killer and Cure. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll decipher more, and hopefully maybe we can hop on for a short time on
Maybe
Monday.
we'll
when there's
update you
an
in the
update.
comments.
Yeah.
Or something. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night. Stay scared.
Stay scared.